Live on YouTube and Google+, it's Pageant Live. This is the place for glamour and style. Get great pageant tips you won't find anywhere else. Find out what you need to know before your next pageant. Post your questions and comments for our panel during the show. Learn great ideas about all aspects of pageantry. Here we go. Pageant Live starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. How is everyone tonight? We would like to welcome you to Pageant Live this evening. I am Spruce Dickerson, your guest host, sitting in for Stephanie. And again, Stephanie is just off doing just great things as the wonderful self that she is, the wonderful person she is. And again, I am honored and privileged to be here with you and to once again, interview some fabulous queens that we have on the show tonight. And I, again, am excited about the guests that we have for this evening. We have the program tonight called Mom to Mom program. And I won't share anything about it. We will let our guests tell us all about this program, and we're just, again, thrilled and excited to have these ladies on. They're doing mighty things with their platforms and with their titles. Who said pageantry was all about beauty and looks? Pageantry is so much more, so much deeper than that, and pageantry is a great thing. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. So let's begin with the ladies introducing themselves and giving us their name, their title, and their platforms. Ladies? Kevy, let's start with you.
Oh, yay! I get to go first. I'm Kevy Berger. I am Montana's Super Mrs. 2014, and my platform is Being the Best Me I Can Be.
My name is Salinas Callison, and I am Montana's Super Ms. 2014, and my platform is Brain Injury Awareness.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Schaefer. I am your reigning elite ambassador for American Beauties Plus, and my platform is It's About the Kids.
Wonderful. Welcome, ladies. It's so good to have you this evening. And we have an exciting program, an exciting show, and I know that you all have just lots of information to share with us, so let's not, without further ado, let's not delay. But I do want to begin by making the connection between you three of loss, because I know that each of your stories, that in each of your lives, you have loss. It might not be the same, it might not look the same, but it's there. Mm-hmm. Yep. Whether you've lost a loved one or whether you've lost innocence or purity, I would like to hear, and I know our audience would like to hear, how this has affected your journey, your life's journey, and how does that connect with pageantry? You know, because when you think of pageantry, you think, you know, it is just all beautiful and just what you see on the outside. So how do we connect pageantry with loss? And that would segue also into the program Mom to Mom. So ladies, share with us about this connection in your program.
Bruce, it started for myself. This is Suzanne. 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago yesterday, I had the loss of my daughter, who was a special needs child and had had her own issues most of her young life. Sarah contracted a disease called dermatomyositis. From date of diagnosis to date of passing was only 18 months. She was 24 with an adjusted age of 8. So my forever princess. And also, she was an honorary Shining Star Special Need Pageant girl herself.
Oh, that's so good.
So for me, pageantry started by interviewing my director, Angela Howell, also called Queen Mom, to find out what pageantry could do to get awareness out about this very rare condition. And it is an arthritis-related condition. So to say my daughter died from arthritis is a very true thing. We were successful with that. I went into my first pageant a year ago. I am not your stage model at all. I am your community servant. I like giving back. I love
Wonderful.
working with kids.
Wonderful.
Through her pageant system, I was able to capture the Elite Ambassador title, which was much of a surprise to me, I think, as it was to my husband. And I've had a fabulous year. Little did I know that I was
Great.
closing my year out as an American Gold Star mom, as I just lost my second child, Billy, who was active duty Coast Guard and passed away December 30th in the line of duty as a firefighter paramedic serving his country. So for me, pageantry is going to be a bittersweet. It'll be a celebration of both Sarah and Billy this year, and it will also be raising awareness on both fronts for sudden cardiac death, which is what took the life of my 28-year-old son, and also for arthritis awareness. But you know, you can either sit at home and be sad and accomplish nothing, or you can have an amazing director like I have in Queen Mom and Angela Howell, who lets you, pushes you back up on your feet and helps you gain the things that are just going to be better for other folks instead of wallowing in the sorrow. So I'm very blessed to be in pageantry. I've been able to help a lot of people through my title and with the national awareness that I wanted to do.
That is wonderful, Suzanne.
Thank you.
And you know, and let me just say, I am so sorry for your losses.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know how. I've not ever lost a child. I mean, in fact, I don't have children, so I can't relate in that way. But I have had losses in my own personal life. But to lose a child is something completely different. So a question I want to ask you, though, with the loss of your daughter, did she inspire you? Was she your inspiration to go into pageantry?
Absolutely. Sarah was my forever princess. She taught us how to live, being a special needs child. And I'll tell you, I was raised Catholic, and in her passing, she taught us how to die as well. And her passing was very, very beautiful. We were all there with her. And I'll tell you, with the amount of pain she lived in from her disease process, she was always so pleasant and so happy. She was the life of the nursing home. They had Princess Sarah on her name tag at the nursing home. So Sarah gave so much to everybody else. It only made sense that I would do something with her.
You know, and that is a pure example of her shining even through her disease. That's an example of where she came from.
Oh, well,
the mom and the dad who raised her and who birthed her. So that's a beautiful example of her parents, of who you were to her.
Oh, thank you.
So you're welcome, baby. So Kevy and Salinas, tell us, because y'all share losses also, just as Suzanne. And but you know, like I said, it doesn't look the same, but you both still share losses. So how has that affected your life's journey, and how is that connection with pageantry?
Well, my connection with pageantry started with Janet Beer, who is our director. I actually met Kevy at a function where I was a volunteer for her as royalty. Janet introduced us. I volunteered for a couple of years and then started working with Kevy and convinced her to join the pageant with me this year, and so we're on the buddy system.
That's good. It always helps to have a buddy, doesn't it?
My loss, you know, Suzanne, my heart breaks for you. I have 3 boys. I can't imagine. I've, in the last 3 years, lost my dad, my grandma, my aunt. My mom is now facing cancer. My story personally is one of a childhood of abuse and losing part of my medical ability due to a traumatic brain injury that was a result of the abuse I sustained at the hands of others as a child. So my story of loss is really a story of survival.
Amen.
I, you know, I have medical issues that are debilitating, and I have a boss and a coworker who knows my triggers and knows when I'm having a bad day and says, it's break time, go sit down.
That's good.
But I was given a choice of either stay home, sit on the couch, accept your fate, and be forever disabled, or stand up and show my 3 boys what I'm made of. 1 year to the day of my post-surgical stroke, I passed my EMS license. Up until very recently, I was working on an ambulance. I'm still certified.
That's awesome.
I graduate in May with a degree. So, it's life is what you make it. And through all the loss and through all the heartache and through all the struggles,
that's right.
It's what you make it. And so for me, if the crown that I wear opens doors to tell one person, you don't have to accept the fate that you're handed, and you can overcome it, then my journey's worth it.
Right.
Yay.
Right. So Salinas, what inspired you? What inspired you to go into pageantry, Salinas?
I was proving a point, I think, that, I had a brain surgery and got divorced within 6 months. Wow. And my self-esteem was through the floor. I felt very worthless. I felt very damaged. I felt very useless. And so I entered my first one to prove the point to myself that I could have the courage to do it. I held the Montana Super Ms. title or Mrs. title 2011 and 2012, and then took this last year off, and then competing again this year. But to prove to myself.
Yes, very good. It's so inspirational. And another question: How did you arrive to that point that you decided to overcome? Because it takes a lot of strength, and oh my goodness, it takes a lot of courage to do that. How did you get to that point?
I was blessed with a foster mom at the age of 12 who saw my determination, and she helped it. She pushed me along, and she gave me the encouragement to do the things that she knew I could do. And so it was instilled in me very early that I am a fighter, and I will overcome whatever life hands me.
Good. Good. Very good. And it's so important to have those people, those supporters in our lives. I always say we are not an island unto ourselves. We need each other. We weren't created codependent, we were created interdependent, so we need one another, and we need those supporters. So that's very good. You had a good foundation there.
I did.
So Kevy, tell us your connection with the loss with the other 2 ladies, and how it affected your life's journey, and how have you married that with pageantry?
Well, my story is a little bit of Suzanne and a little bit of Salinas. So I have a very tumultuous childhood. I was also in foster care. I went through physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. And long story short, I ended up putting my stepfather in prison for 17 years. So the abuse started when I was 2 days after my 9th birthday, and continued until I was almost 16, where I was a little bit smarter. I knew, what was going on, and went through a pretty traumatic episode and landed in the hospital, and ended up having some great people that could help me.
That's good.
When I went through that, I still had to go to the same school. We only had 17 people in our graduating class, so it was a very small school. I had to face the same people day after day, and from that, I kind of got some situational anxiety, which I still battle today, and I really decided that when I grew up, I didn't want my child or children to ever go through what I went through. I didn't want them to be hurt or ridiculed. And then when I was blessed with my son, he's a special needs child. And so he's had open heart surgery, he's had dual eye surgeries, he has anxiety disorder, he has a patch in his heart and will need another open heart surgery. And so each step along the way, I've dealt with, whether it was my own personal anxieties and needing to overcome those type of situations, whether it was becoming strong enough to, I am a survivor of abuse, but I'm a thriver.
Right.
You know, you don't just survive. I feel like I thrive. And so
absolutely.
When I got older, I decided not only was I going to take an unconventional position, I'm a CEO of a nonprofit company here in Missoula, which is the Hospice Care Foundation. And so we deal with a lot of end-of-life situations and concerns, and I really wanted to do something that made my heart happy, but that I also wanted to do something to try to change the world. So I actually, about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I became a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA for children. So we're actually appointed by the judicial system, and we act as the eyes and the ears of the judges, and we're very impartial. We have to get enmeshed in these cases. You can't talk to anybody about them or what's going on with them. And so I thought that from all of this rolled together, I wanted to teach my children that you can overcome anything, whether you have a special need, whether you're beautiful or not. I can't walk gracefully across the stage to save my soul, so this summer ought to be interesting. I am not. I know, but
it's going to be your first live pageant.
It's my very first live one. I have entered online pageants and did very well, but this will be my first live one. And luckily, I do have a buddy. I have a buddy who is not only who now works for me, but somebody who I trust and somebody who I care about. And so it's a blessing every day that I can be a mother and stand out and teach my children to care about other people and to use your life experiences to thrive. And so that's where my platform, being the best me I can be. I'm not the skinniest, I'm not the prettiest, I'm not the most graceful. I stumble over my words, I have situational anxiety, all these different things going on. But we can thrive and we can be beautiful no matter who we are or what we look like or how we're built, because the good Lord made all of us and we're all beautiful to Him.
Absolutely.
And so that's kind of my story.
Wow.
And what I'm hearing and what I've just heard from all three of you ladies, not only do you share in loss, in loss of some form or other, but you also share a beautiful heart. You share compassion. And you know what? You've taken rotten things that have happened to you in life and you've made something from them. What is that saying? When life gives you lemon,
make lemonade.
Make lemonade.
Thank you. Right, make lemonade.
Switch to oranges.
That's exactly right. And that's what you ladies are doing. And because we can't control life, right? Just like, just what y'all know, we can't control life. But what we can control is our reaction and how we deal with life. And you take what's happened to you, what you've done, and go forth to help other people to lessen their pain and to share in their heartache, because we need that. We need others to cry with us, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. The comfort.
Or to hold us.
Yes. And I'm sure all three of you have done a lot of crying, lots of tears, but God collects our tears, though. So He sees and He knows. So well, okay, now Kevy, I just want to ask you one question, because in your bio that I read, my question is, why seatbelt safety? I know that you're an advocate for seatbelt safety, so can you just share just a little bit, why seatbelt safety?
Well, I am a 5-time crash survivor, and so in fact, one of Yeah, one of my car accidents, I was 28 weeks pregnant with my son, and we hit another car in a blinding storm and rolled my car 3 times. And so being 28 weeks pregnant, I could have easily lost my life and my son's life. And they said because the seatbelt actually held me in, the way it was when I went upside down, it held my legs and that up and actually kept the pressure off my baby. And so even though I've been in multiple car accidents, I've walked through them. And so with this pageant that we're doing in June, when Salinas brought this to my attention, I said, this is something that I can support. I've never been in a pageant before. I don't want to go on stage and talk to people. I do that in my job, and I, have anxiety over that. Yes. But it's something I believe in so firmly. It's something that I teach, my children and everybody that gets in my car. And as a EMT, Salinas will sometimes, want to pop that seatbelt off, and I'll just stop the car and say, no, hey now, you're in my truck.
That's right. Well,
that's hard, because we
definitely. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for the pageant, our main promotion is seatbelt safety, and that's why Janet approached me, because I was an EMT. And so I fight, like Kevy said, I fight the everyday, I wear my seatbelt all the time. But man, Monday mornings are tough when I come back to work, and I work here, and I've worked all weekend on the ambulance because we get out before the theme park and the truck's off, and and so Monday mornings she retrains me to go, I don't think so. And it's like, dang it, I preach this.
That's what friends are for. A good teaching tool, because when we go to the schools and we present, then we talk to the children, and we're able to tell them about the differences, about what's okay, what's not okay. How do you buckle your seatbelt? What do you do if there's no seatbelts? And so it's something that we're very, very, both of us are very passionate about. Having been in so many car accidents, I don't believe that anybody should ever be in anywhere without a seatbelt. And if I could strap my son onto his motorcycle somehow and make it safe, I would do that too. But
well, Kevy, I know, because you, my goodness gracious, that right there is a story in itself. Okay, you're just living.
I could write a book.
Yes, ma'am. And seatbelt safety, you don't hear much of that being advocated for. It's out there, yes, but you don't hear. It's not really on the front lines like, MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving and whatnot. You just don't hear much about it. So kudos to you and Salinas for taking that on as a platform for the pageant. And that's good, because you don't hear that in pageantry platforms either. So so that's very good. I like that. Very good. And so I'm glad you're still with us.
Thank you.
After all that. So Suzanne.
Yes.
Suzanne, let me ask you a little bit about, you had mentioned your Eastern chapter a while ago, and the recognition that you are getting being a mother. So what does that mean to you to be a mother that is recognized?
I don't ever really look at it as myself being recognized. In the case of Sarah, having the Sarah Schaefer Memorial Scholarship for Children with Arthritis, that's just a way a mother can help other children be able to achieve their post-secondary educational dreams, because these children do tend to miss more school than the average child. So we can support them by offering them a scholarship that doesn't have some of the stringency that traditional scholarships have. With American Gold Star Mothers, they are such a fabulous organization. Unfortunately, it's a sorority none of us ever wanted to be with, but it is an organization for those of us that are mothers that have lost our children in service to the country. And we do awesome, amazing things in that organization. We have the Wreaths Across America program. And we also are out in the public eye quite a bit, educating the public of what can happen, whether it's in time of war or whether it's during peace times, our children
that's
serving
good.
our country can lose their lives, such as my son Billy did while in service to the country. And it's a way to promote the hero that we had as a child. And it's a coming together as moms who have all suffered a significant loss. And being able to love our country, love our children, and be able to tell their stories. So people do really, truly realize freedom doesn't come free. And fortunately, through my pageant system with American Beauties Plus, I'm not a size 2 anymore. I'm a mama that's had 3 children and 3 C-sections, and you know my curves are my curves, and
they're beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. But in our pageant systems that honor women that have curves, you know, we have education too, and we do great jobs, and our body image may not be the perfect model, but we certainly have just as much to offer. And fortunately for me, I've got one of the most amazing queen moms and directors, which just makes the things that you want to do, she helps you make them your reality and to keep them going. So
absolutely.
I think I'm very blessed for that. It's been a very good system to be in. My sister queens have been incredibly supportive, and it's just wonderful to surround yourself with a group of women that have similar goals and missions that you can wrap your arms around and love. You know, you have sisterly love.
Exactly, and that's what pageantry, one of the great components of pageantry is the sisterhood. You know, I liken it to a sorority, right, ladies? It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what system that we're in. We're all sisters. We're a sisterhood. And you know, and truthfully, any pageant, we have to have a platform. And so we are of like mind.
We are. With their pageant system that they're in, a little caveat to that was shortly after I joined American Beauties Plus, their director reached out to me, not as a director, but as a mother who suffered loss as well. And you know, it was just so touching that a woman that was only on my Facebook page who had lost her daughter reached out to another mom who lost her daughter. And you know, it was helpful to have her there that first year and have her be able to guide and direct. And when I said, oh gosh, the Christmas tree was so hard to get up this year, she got with that. And even for Billy, the pageant system, the sisterhood is just amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, ladies, I would like to take these last few minutes and let each of you quickly, if you have any links of how our audience can get a hold of you, and if there are any links to organizations that you're volunteering with. So just take a couple of minutes and give us some last words and contact information. Kevy?
Well, Salinas and I have a Facebook page, and it's Montana's Super Mrs. and Ms. And so if you look at that, or if you want to find us, we both work for the Hospice Care Foundation. You can find us through there. We have a contact us, so you can always, you know, send us a link. It goes right to my email, and it's at www.hcfmissoula.com. And so contacting us through work or through our Facebook, and we each have Facebook, we each have a Twitter, Instagram, so you can look up our names and find us, or look on Facebook, or contact us through our work.
And Kevy, give me one word. Give us one word of inspiration.
Gratitude.
Very good. Thank you. Salinas, one word of inspiration for our audience.
Courage.
Very good. Suzanne, so give us some contact information and some last words.
Sure. Contact information is very easy. It's my first and last name. Schaeffer is SHEAFFER, and I am on Facebook, and there's also a Facebook page in memory of Sarah Schaeffer. And you can certainly contact me through there, and if they have any children that are seniors in high school and are looking next year and are looking for a scholarship, please reach out to me. and I can get them that application. As far
Very
as
good.
one word,
Yes.
care. I think we just need to all care for one another and accept each other's differences. And thank you so
Wonderful.
much for this opportunity.
You are welcome. And I love that. Gratitude, courage, and care. So audience, take those words, take the stories of these beautiful queens and listen to their words and see, wow, see their journey and see that even through life's trials and traumas that we can still be successful and we can still rise to the top with gratitude, care, and courage. Ladies, thank you all so much. I really enjoyed talking with you this evening, and I just wish you the best of success and mwah. And
you.
audience,
Thank you.
you're welcome. And audience, thank you for joining us this evening. Again, I'm Spruce Dickerson, and again, it is an honor to be here with the audience and with the ladies, and I appreciate this opportunity to sit here before you. And so next week, maybe Stephanie will be back. We don't know, but again, she's doing great things. So good night, ladies. Good night, audience. Mwah.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.